Well, I'm Polly Talbot. Welcome back to A La Carte Live in person and here in this part. This is Chef Katie Voltaggio, who is a Johnson & Wales graduate. I know some of you already heard that speech. It's really nice to have her here teaching with me because it's a lot of fun. So tonight's class is Upscale and Easy. Tonight we're going to be doing some things that I think a lot of times people I know, one person in this room, doesn't like to cook a lot and or is afraid of cooking sometimes because things can be really, really easy and you don't realize it. And I think the first time you go through it, then you realize that it's not that hard and cooking is not that difficult. So I think really this class is going to point that out, and you can actually entertain with a lot of these recipes because they're not only are they nice and like party oriented, they are simple and they don't take a lot of extra preparation.
This is your chef knife, and then your smaller knife is your paring knife. We like to teach the blade grip where you put your thumb on one side, your index finger on the other, and you wrap the other 3 fingers around, so you're technically pinching your knife. This is the safest way to hold your knife. You have the most control over your knife when you are holding it this way. With your other hand, make sure you pull back all 5 fingers and make sure you get your thumb. I have noticed recently that everyone's thumb is always sticking out and it's so close, and I never realized it until I was watching this person do it, and it just makes me scared. So just make sure you tuck in your thumb.
You don't want to scare Katie.
You can technically rest your knife against your knuckles while you are cutting because your fingers are pulled back. These knives are made to do the rocking motion where you push down and you pull up. This rocking motion is something that you will get over time. In the beginning you do have to concentrate, and when you are cutting, please don't cut and slam your knife down like this. It will ruin the blade, and our knives are kept super sharp. The sharper the knife, the safer it is.
A couple of other things. These are measuring utensils. This is your liquid measure, so you always measure liquids in this one. These are dry measures, and this is going to give you the most accurate measurement if you measure your dry ingredients in a dry measure. Spoons are marked. Check out what they say. That can be confusing from time to time. And then you want to make sure you do what the French call your mise en place. You want to make sure you get everything prepped and chopped before you start cooking. So that's kind of a really important thing. If you do that, you're going to like cooking a lot more. Like, you want to go over, your recipe has 2 parts. It has your ingredient listing and the body copy. So you want to read the body copy so you understand what you're doing. And then you start and you prepare everything as it's listed up here. And then once everything's prepared, then you go back to the body copy and you start actually cooking. So once you read your body copy, you'll see sometimes the last ingredient will be chopped parsley for garnish. You'll see that. You may have time to do that later, but you'll see that when you read the whole thing. Grilled escarole and a white bean salad. This recipe, it's different now a little bit, but it started from a recipe that I got from Food and Wine in 1999. A long time I've had this recipe, and we do it a lot of times in our grilling classes. But what you're going to do is you're going to take the escarole, and first of all, with escarole, if you've ever been here with escarole, I talk about this a lot, but you can see the escarole if you look up in the mirror. It's really, really dirty. You have to wash it over and over and over again. And then, but what we're going to do, and you can actually cut it first, is cut it like in quarters. So we're going to cut it in quarters. If you cut it first, it'll just be a little bit easier to wash and get in between the leaves. But you're going to cut it, leaving the heart on, so it's going to hold it together. We're going to cut it like this, and then you'll wash it really, really well. And then we're going to put some olive oil on it, and we're just going to put it on the grill. So you're just going to soften it a little bit and get it a little charred all over, and that's going to be part of your salad. And then, like some of these you want to just take off, and you can take them to this thing to do that. But you see how dirty escarole is? Yeah. So you have to really, really make sure that you get it all the way in here, and you're going to kind of open it like this to try to get all the sand out.
Why do you keep it attached to the bottom?
Well, we're going to grill it. So we're going to oil it, and we're going to kind of lay it on the grill, and that's going to help keep everything together. Okay? That one fast. Yeah, there's a gray line on this one. Maybe you'll have a minute or so. You don't want to let it go too long because then they'll disintegrate the leaves. Yeah, you're probably pretty much done. Should you take them out? Yeah, you can. Yeah. And then what I like to do with that is like make an arrangement like in a circle on a platter. And then you make this really interesting white bean salad. It's really easy to make. It's got basil, lemon juice, and I always like, I know more and more, I think it's because these zesters came out, we use the lemon zest so much more, and it gives you an even better lemon flavor. So you use it like this, but you're going to use the lemon zest. This is a big lemon. And some lemon juice and some lemon juice from that, and some basil that will show you how to chiffonade, and some roasted red peppers. Now you can either roast your own peppers by taking a pepper and rotating it under the broiler until it's blackened all over, sealing it up and peeling it, or you can buy roasted peppers. Tonight we're going to use jarred roasted peppers, so you can do it either way. Some chopped Italian parsley, and so you're going to make like a salad with that, with the white beans. You're going to mash the beans up a little bit. We're going to drain the beans and rinse them a little bit. If you're ambitious and you want to go ahead of time and soak your beans, you kind of soak them overnight and drain them and then cook them. So then you'll have your beans. So you could do it that way too if you're so inclined. Canned beans, though, however, are something that most chefs will use. Frozen peas and canned beans are kind of accepted in the culinary world. So a lot of people will go ahead and use those just to cut corners as far as time. This needs to be a little bit hotter to throw. Okay. Because that salad, or the white bean part of it can be all put together and you'll be done. Okay. You know what? There's another tool that you can do that with. I only use potato masher is gonna do it a little bit, but I actually like the pastry blender for that because you cut some and you don't cut others. You know, it's try that. Because I like it a little bit mashed. It's nice to have it a little bit mushy, not totally pureed, but you know, just some. We get closer. Yeah.
It's supposed to go in with this recipe, but I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
It's all going into the same thing.
The next thing we're going to make, this is a really fun one, is the flank steak pesto roulade. Actually, we're not going to cut it because we're going to cut it for the demo with you guys, but I just want to show you. You notice the grain of a flank steak, really important with flank steak. The grain goes this way, and when you're finally cutting it, you want to make sure that you're cutting it thinly and across the grain, so you want to cut opposite the grain. Otherwise, it's very stringy. And if you cut it opposite the grain, it's nice and wonderful and juicy. So, but what we're going to do with this is we're going to lay it out on our cutting board, and we're going to cut it this way.
I guess it's easier to get it started. And
You can use a chef's knife for this too.
Did you ask the butcher to do it? It's like
I
butterfly.
don't think you need to, Gail. I think you can do this. I guess he would. They'll do anything. I mean, see, I'm just kind of opening it up.
You have a sharp knife and it will make it sharp.
Yeah, it's in the sharpness of the knife. Yeah, but you could. They would probably do this without a problem. Now, if you make it too thin in a place, which I did on purpose.
it almost looks like skirt steak.
Yeah, it's it's from that same area. Yeah, it's the
Now,
same.
what about, did you do it like a whole tri-tip? and slice it like that?
That's what Carly uses this.
Yeah, you could butterfly any piece, yeah. But now what you're gonna do here, you see where it's a little bit thin right there?
I think it's.
And if you cut through like that, all you do is take, let me take from where it's a little bit thicker.
Dominican. And
You
she
take
makes
just a little bit more.
flank. I don't know if it's flank.
It's no, it's good.
This is how you fill a hole.
It's like
If you-
cheese
if
vinegar,
you got it,
like chopped carrots and celery, and like tomato.
And then you're just
paste.
gonna put this, see it's a little thin in one place, it's really not too
Like,
thin
it all
anywhere
comes
there.
apart.
It's gonna hold,
It's just like
there's a
shredded.
hole there.
It's called shredded
Just
steak.
do that, and then that'll keep the
I'm allowed to say it in Spanish.
pesto
It's
from
really good.
squirting out. That's how much it's calling for. So then, you're just gonna spread this on here. And it's strong enough, you don't want to, really flop it on too thick. And I'm going to kind of tuck a little bit as I roll because it's usually thinner on the ends like it is. And then we're going to tie it. Okay, and then you hold your thumb like this, and you come underneath, and over and around.
But you keep looping it.
You keep looping it,
Now,
yeah.
could you just cut the string into 6-inch pieces and tie it individually?
Yes, you can, yeah. But this is more fun now. Just hold your thumb and we'll come around and then go
Okay.
through. Yeah, that's all right.
Now,
You can go under and over or over and under, doesn't matter to me. Yeah. There you go.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
See, it's not hard. And then what we're gonna do is sear roast it. We're gonna use a cast iron skillet, which is a great tool for this. This is the one that's, yeah, you can use a cast iron skillet actually in 2 of these tonight. We're gonna use the cast iron skillet, we're gonna sear it all around, and then we'll put it in the oven. So if you need to have a pan with a handle that can go in the oven. And if you don't, you can still do it. You're going to use it, if you, like this will go in the oven too, so this would be okay to use. But if you don't have a saute pan, all right, that will go in the oven, what you can do is just sear it in another pan and then put it in a baking dish and finish it in the oven. The only thing is that might increase your roasting time just a little bit because you're going to be putting it in a cold baking dish. So it'll kind of take the temperature down a little bit. Because this will stay nice and hot. The cast iron pans are great for this kind of thing. Now you just don't want to keep turning it until it releases itself. Okay, and so we've got we're going to sear it. So what you're going to do is going to put it in, and if you turn it and it's sticking, don't turn.
Okay.
You're going to just gently turn it.
Turn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn it. Still. Like I said, I would have gone one more down,
Oh, really?
but that's fine. It won't fit one more. There's too many racks there.
Right.
Okay, now you want to set your timer for 18 minutes. And this is going to be kind of medium rare also. I can feel that it's a little, and it's kind of hard to tell with this because it's rolled.
Use a fork and it's kind of this.
So you're going to sear it in just a little bit of olive oil and then roast it. And then you're just going to cut it. Once we cut it, we'll be sure to be cutting it opposite the grain. Sawing, like going through and back and forth is better. Not pushing, but I don't know how to say that, yeah. Less this, but more like,
Okay.
and then you'll have the spiral with that. There's a little Parmesan cheese too in the middle of that. Once you put your pesto, you shave a little Parmesan cheese on that. And then group A is going to make seared scallops with a tropical fruit salsa. seared scallops are, this is great. Donna was saying, everybody wants to learn this, so everybody's got to come over and see how to sear a scallop. And once you get the technique down, you'll really like them. It makes a lot of difference. A couple of tricks is your pan has to be really hot. You can either oil the scallops or oil the pan. This recipe tells you to oil the pan. It's kind of 6 to 1, half dozen the other, except that I think when you oil the pan, you get more chance of the smoking because you do have a hot pan. But we're going to first remove the mussel tabs that we did find. A couple of these don't have mussel tabs, and some of them do. The mussel tabs are kind of a firm, let's see a good one. You may have cleaned them all off. Usually they have these on. I know we're going to find, there's one. This is the mussel tab. If you can see up there, you can see it's a little bit different texture and it's firm. And once, if you don't remove that, it doesn't have the same texture once they're cooked, and it's kind of hard, so it's not really that great. So you want to remove those. So check them all for your mussel tabs. And you always want to buy dry scallops. You don't want to buy the ones that are the wet scallops, because the dry scallops are have like chemicals on them to keep them looking nice anyways. But so you want to make sure they're dry. And then we're going to salt and pepper them right before you're ready. And then we will have our hot pan, really hot pan. Oh, thank you. Hot pan. And then oil and sear them on both sides. And what happens is, the problem is people always want to flip them right away. You can't flip them. They're going to stick. And you want to just leave them until they release. They release themselves when they're ready. The bottom will get caramelized and nice, and then you turn it over and you just flip them once. So you don't want to keep flipping them back and forth and back and forth. And then you're going to set them aside, and they will continue to cook a little bit. So you'll kind of cover them on the side and let them continue to cook. Then you're going to make a salsa. Actually, you're going to make your salsa first, because the scallops don't take long at all. You're going to use a lot of different things. We're going to use pineapple, and Beth cooperated by buying an unripe pineapple, so we could buy a ripe one too. But it's really hard to tell. I don't know. I think everybody has a problem telling like which is like a melon. Some of those things is really hard to tell. And the guy in the stores don't think it's hard, but I mean, because he was making fun of me one time. I said, "Help me pick a melon," and he said, "Everybody can pick a melon." I think they're hard to pick. But you look for the smell. If you can smell pineapple, if you smell melon, it's not right. But if you smell pineapple, you got it. You want to kind of smell it. Also, you can kind of
from the middle.
Yeah, you can pull these out. If you work really hard, you can pull them out of anything. But not really. Actually, this is going to be harder to get out. So you can tell. So that's another sign that it's right. You want to have it like kind of unblemished, but you still want to have it be a little more yellow like that. You can see up here that this is going to be pretty unripe, and this might be tomorrow or even the next day that it'll start to come around. So it's not bad. It's just that it's not quite ready. So we're going to use this one, and what we're going to do is cut. You only need to cut a cup of pineapple, but we may as well cube it all up because it's always good to have it in the refrigerator. It's for snacking. What I would just do is cut off the top. Oh, cut off a lot of the top. Okay. And then you've got a flat side again, so you can actually. I've seen people follow these eyes around. I don't like the eyes, so you want to make sure you get those off.
When I cook pineapple, I cut it in quarters and then I scoop it out.
I do that too. Like if I want to serve it, you cut it this way, and then leave it.
take
you
the
can put
core
it back
off.
in the skin. Yeah. But this we're just using cubes. And what I would do if I were getting a pineapple to do just for a cup of pineapple, I would just cut the whole thing up. Oh, you buy the one that's already
It's already in the bag. It's cleaned.
That made everything easier for us, right? Everything's easy. I mean, I've actually seen people who take it and they go like this with the eyes, because there is a pattern with the eyes. But it's a lot more work, I've seen. I would keep some cubes, like bigger cubes, for the refrigerator. And then have some dice. You want a pretty small dice to go on this salsa. Okay, then you'll put it on your flat side. And then you're gonna cut this in strips. And then what you can do, I'll let you do this after I cut it like this. And I just want to get a kind of a small dice. And everything in this should be like small. Because it's just going on little scallops. You don't want it too chunky. So you're going to get a cup of these. And then you're going to have a mango. And a mango too, we'll have fun doing that together. But a mango, you got to look at a mango and you see that the pit is kind of going this way. And I don't like to peel the mangoes first, because if you peel them first, they're so slippery that you're probably going to cut yourself trying to make it, dice it up. Remember that the seed is this way, the pit is this way. And so what we're going to do is take the knife and we're going to go across. You kind of have to avoid the pit. You want to go
So you're
close
not
to
cutting
it.
to the middle.
Yeah, actually I can kind of feel it hit it, so I'm going to go that way. Okay, and then with this part of it, and you can use either knife with this if you're more comfortable with the smaller knife. This way, you're going to make this checkerboard thing going. And you're making it small because you want a dice, you want a small dice.
And how much mango do we need?
Notice with this knife, you're allowed to
We're
put your
gonna do
finger
the
on
whole
it.
mango.
Yeah, we're going to do the whole mango. And then we'll make if you make like a checkerboard with it, and then you scrape it off and you have a nice fine dice. Kiwi is great also. Kiwi's up there. Is the kiwi up there? Yeah. There's a kiwi, but we'll show you that too. What's fun about a kiwi, you can do this with a spoon. Thank you. You cut off each end, and we'll take a spoon and wiggle it up all the way around and turn it, and it comes out. It's really beautiful, and it comes out nice and round all the way around. And you just take a spoon